Hello, I'm Ali, and this is Nina. And Nina is a 12-voice, 4-part multi-timbral polyphonic synthesizer. Unfortunately, it's not my synthesizer, I just have a loan of it, but I really like it. I very much like the design and the aesthetics. It's incredibly well built. You definitely know you've got a high-end piece of gear. And it's also got some really unique functionality. And I want to start by talking about, I was going to say the elephant in the room, but it's not the elephant, it's the opposite of that. It's the good thing in the room, the jacuzzi in the room, which is the motorized control panel. And this is kind of the first thing you think about when you think about the synthesizer, and that's because it's so freaking cool. Not only is it really useful to know the exact knob positions for every preset, but the technology itself is really quite fascinating. If we were to listen to oscillator 1, for example, then over here we have a tune control which goes plus and minus 7 semitones. And there's a little indent in the middle there. But if we hit the coarse button, then it changes to a 5-way octave switch. And you can really feel the resistance. When you get to the highest octave, you can just tell that you can't go any further. It is tempting to try and go further, but I am not going to do that. So yeah, the technology itself is really fascinating, and I can definitely see this being utilised by other gear, not even just music gear. And yeah, next I want to do a brief overview of the front panel. We have 2 analog oscillators and a digital wavetable oscillator. I'm very happy to see the inclusion of the digital oscillator. I love analog, but I also love the crazy things that digital can do. And it's nice to see these two worlds combined. Over here we have a Moog style low pass filter. Very nice. We have 2 envelopes, 2 LFOs. There's some nice other little things like sync, sub-oscillator, overdrive and drive, and glide. There's an ARP and a sequencer. And then over here we have this morph control, which is one of the really unique features. Every preset on Nina can actually store 2 presets, and we can really smoothly morph between them, finding new sounds along the way. Super creative tool. Next we have a spin control, which is a pretty unique panning effect. And then finally we have some effects up here, which is probably my only complaint of Nina, is that the effects are a little bit limited. There's only one effect slot and you can only choose between chorus, reverb and delay. I would love to see more than one effect slot and some more effects, a phaser, a flanger, harmonizer, a bit crusher, even an EQ would be nice actually, because when you start layering sounds on top of each other, some parts can get a bit muddled. It'd be nice to be able to EQ that. But yeah, other than that, it's a really fantastic synthesizer. I recently watched a video by the Jamiroquai keyboardist Matt Johnson on Nina, and he made it sound incredible. He is a ridiculously talented keys player. I'm not really a keys player at all, I only know about 3 scales. So what I thought I would try and do today is take Nina into some different kind of territory and explore the weirder side and the sort of sound design side, because that's what I really like about synthesizers. If that sounds good, then please stick around. Also, please subscribe if you've not already. And yeah, let's dive into the video. So this is a patch I made to demonstrate the morph control. Each preset has an A and a B, and we can morph between them with this morph control. Really lovely. And thanks to a recent firmware update, this is now modulatable. So this seems like a good opportunity to show you how the modulation works. If we hit the mod button, then these 16 buttons down here become our modulation sources, and all of the knobs are the modulation destinations. So I'm going to choose button 7, which is the aftertouch, and I'm going to wiggle the morph to activate that. Morph is the secondary function for this control, so you do need to do a tiny bit of menu diving. There's very little menu diving in general in this synthesizer. I'm going to set the amount to 100. Just going to exit that, and now if I play the same thing as before, I can use the aftertouch to morph between. It was really nice. So yeah, it's incredibly powerful. You can just imagine the possibilities of having two completely different presets and morphing between them. Nina has a sequencer, and I thought of a really fun way to demonstrate this. I've come up with this really simple sound. It's basically just a triangle wave and some modulated noise, but it's the perfect sound for the Pink Floyd track On the Run from Dark Side of the Moon, which was one of my favourite albums back in my teenage stoner years. And this is something you can try with basically any synthesizer. To do it on Nina, you hit the sequencer button, and then you hit record to record your sequence, and the notes you want to play are E, G, A, G, and then D, C, D, E. So once that's recorded, we hit run. I've got a little bit of the spin effect on here just to get some cool panning effects. I feel like the original had some weird panning on the go. And yeah, once you've got it running, you can just explore. You could bring in some vibrato. Mess about with the filter. It's just a really iconic synth sound, and yeah, you can mess about with this for a long time. So I want to show you something really cool about the noise feature on Nina. There are 4 types of noise. We have white noise, pink noise, and then we have XOR, which is a type of ring mod, and aux in, which allows us to process external gear. And because there are 4 inputs on the back of Nina, we can actually process stereo gear, which is really great. And you can even route the output back into the input to create some crazy feedback, which can get really experimental. But in this demonstration, I'm going to use the KO2. I've got a very simple patch here. Just 2 oscillators and a little bit of the spin effect. And if I start the KO2, we can hear that it's being processed, and we won't hear it until we open up the VCA. And what I've really been enjoying is using the overdrive effect. course, we can take advantage of the lovely effects as well. Yeah, it's a really nice feature and a pleasant surprise. Next, I want to take a look at the multi-timbral feature because it is so powerful. It basically allows you to use up to 4 presets simultaneously, and you could do this by splitting the keyboard and having a bass down here and keys and a pad up here, or you could stack 4 presets on top of each other, and that's what I'm going to do just now. You do need to sort of allocate the 12 voices of polyphony over the 4 presets, and it takes a little bit of setting up, but it's not too tricky. So currently I have a stock preset called Basic, which sounds like this. And this is going to be my layer 1 sound. And if I go into the layer voices, you probably can't see this on the screen, but there are 12 voices of the polyphony allocated to layer 1. So I'm going to bring that down to 3. Then I'm going to go into layer 2. I can use the buttons down here to choose the layers. And I'm going to allocate 3 voices to layer 2. And now I can load up a preset. I'm going to load up a sound I made called Alien Jazz. And this is going to be my layer 2. And the 2 sounds together should sound like this. Now, something I want to check is the output routing or routing. It's currently set to 1, 2, 3, and 4. I want it to be just 1 and 2. There are 4 outputs on the back of this. So, oh yeah, and the other thing was I wanted to change the effect from chorus to reverb. Next, I'm going to set up layer 3 and we do the same thing again, allocate the voices. Seems I've already got a preset in here. And you can see how you can really quickly build up these really deep immersive sounds. Let's add the final layer. And for this one, I'm going to load up a sound that I used earlier called Sparkly. Because we have the morph control, we've actually kind of get 8 presets in one, which is just wild. super powerful, and this is my first attempt at doing this really. I think if you really curated the sounds, then you could make some incredible textures. This final preset, I thought I would just make another multi-timbral sound, and I did this really easily, just the same way as before, picking 4 sounds that work nicely together, and very quickly came up with this really epic sounding pad. So yeah, I hope you've enjoyed my first exploration of Nina. I will be releasing a preset pack sometime in the near future, so keep your eyes peeled for that. If you would like to help support the channel, then I have a Patreon account where I upload extra videos and sample packs and preset packs, etc. I also have a cassette for sale. You can pick this up on my Bandcamp. There's links down below. And finally, there are some affiliate links as well. Thank you for watching, and I'll catch you all again soon.